depends so much on chemicals. I saw a program in Season TV called Shama Shepa, saying that wataleta kitu ilikuwa shangi kimo. That means ile itakaa muda mrefu bila kupigwa dawa. That is one of the things that we recommend if the government can also assist and investing a lot of resources in making sure that we get to learn about smart agriculture and doing better things in an organic way. Thank you.
Yes, so we can progress to next point, access to climate financing.
A minute, just to add on that.
On the issue of the seed, if the government can subsidize the cost of the seeds farmers are using that are climate resilient, you know, you are having a very big challenge with the seed that are climate resilient. They are very expensive for farmers, especially the local farmers, the smallholder farmers. So if they can have a look at it, it will assist the rural farmers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Helen. Progress to access to climate financing. Yes, I think you should be preparing before, as others discuss, so that you attack the point faster.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Daniel Mutai from Baringo, Malawi. I wanted to talk small on access to finance, and especially when it comes to smallholder farmers. You find that financing institutions for climate smart require some documentation like title deeds and all that, and most of our community lands we really have that such. So I think there should be an intervention in terms of how to provide such facilities that can enable a smallholder farmer meet those requirements.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I think for the farmers to be assisted on how to access finance, the county government or the national government can assist, give farmers capacity building on how to have their own village-based savings. Is it VSL? Village savings, for them to access loans, which is very cheap as compared to the banks, which is very expensive in terms of interest, and how to access it. Thank you.
Thank you once again. In terms of getting finances from the county, I think it is a good idea for the agricultural county officers in every county to register members, so that the county will know the number of members they have in a certain farming system. Then the members are expected to keep the records, because you cannot be given any finance if you have no record. What will be the evidence of what you are doing? So let the farmers have small chamas and record everything and let it to be registered, known in the officers, and when any funds or any grants reach the county, the farmers will be able to access it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Access to climate financing. I think the other members have said that. The point I want to add to what they have said is farmers to be encouraged to join the farmer producer organizations, kama cooperatives, kama CBOs, so that they can easily get money from either donor community or banks or any other person, and the government to reduce those tariffs, which are going to make farmer producer organizations charge more in terms of loaning to these farmers. But the minute these farmers are there in groups, they can easily access that money. Thank you.
So thank you very much. So we have closed the chapter there. Now we want to read the
one more.
Thank you.
Naitwa Joshua Simoto. Kwa hiyo maneno ya financing, tulikuwa nauliza hii maneno ya carbon credit, je, ifanyie kazi ama ikufanya? Kwa sababu hata hiyo ingekuwa nalipa wakulima ili wapate pesa ya kufanya nini, ya kuchange climate. Alafu tena jambo lingine ile imeharibu sana climate. Jambo lingine ile inaharibu credit ya kuharibu climate sana ni madawa. Kuna serikali wanasema wanataka kuban madawa ile mbaya, lakini bado tunaona kwa market. So kama serikali kama wangeban hiyo dawa na wasikubali ya kutoka nchi nyingine, ingekuwa bora, kwa sababu unakuta hata watu wanatumia madawa kupiga nyanya, kupiga naye ng'ombe, so inakuwa shida. Asante.
Thank you. So we progress to expected recommendations. So we would want to recommend all these, but I know most of you have given their solutions. So we can progress to the next slides, because or you can read through this expected so that we can see there was those which were missing. This one you can read for
Under the droughts and floods,
yes.
Some of the, I wrote the problems, but some of the things are bad roads, and we know the recommendation is we continuously have graders on our counties and water. Those are some of the things I think we need, because when was the last time you saw a grader in your area? In our area, it was last year, March. So we need these things to be there continuously. Destruction of farms from the floods, I think we will answer it in the soil preservation, because these floods destroy your farm when it's clean. If you have trees, we are planting in terraces, you will find it is soil erosion becomes minimal. Climate change and effects. The challenge is unpredictable rain patterns, and what is the solution to that? Now that's something we another thing is when rains come, they don't come in moderation. So this year, February, the rains came and they came. Even before we planted, the rains were here. So I think it's now on us to have a meteorological system that can predict, and as farmers, we just don't wait. Whatever they tell us, we trust them, because I think they've been right this year. Pests and diseases, MLND in Bomet, so no maize. There are varieties which are MLND resistant. So I think farmers should look at the ban, especially from these other private companies. There are those which we have. Parasites affecting avocados. This is a challenge even in Nakuru. And I found myself, I was able to spray last year. My crop for this year is good. So there is a way we can, now it's the teaching between farmers. I think that's something, when problems come, we teach between farmers. And I think that's why we have even a KENAFF WhatsApp group. Outbreak of diseases affecting poultry, and this is something which is true. As we had vaccines for FMD in Nakuru, Baringo, we had vaccines, but we've never had for chicken vaccine. So I think that's something we will pressure on. FMD in Baringo affects production. I believe FMD, when you vaccinate, you should not, there is no withdrawal period for milk. So the person who gave the information probably use of fertilizer, we need to change this. So that use of fertilizer, we need to change this. So that our farms become, we are using so much money in inputting. And our farms become, we are using so much money in inputting. And it's not coming back for the cows. So I think in the second season, I should be on back for the cows. So I think in the second season, I should be also planting something like sunflower. That rotation, I think, should be good. We stop subdivision of land, which is a major thing. Hii kutugawia. Tuambie sisi vijana, kaa hapa, shamba ilimwe. Yes. I hope, and I think even my father alifanya hivyo. Amesema angawe. Yes. I hope, and I think even my father alifanya hivyo. Amesema angawe shamba. Kama ni kuishi sana. We have a lot of manure in our farms. I think half We have a lot of manure in our farms. I think half we should be using it. Badala ya kuuzia mtu aende yake kahawa yake jitengeneze your organic fertilizer, use it in your maize, use it in your avocados. Soil conservation, soil testing kits. In Nakuru we have a program for soil testing. I don't know about Bomet. I don't know if it's hakuna. So those are things that we should encourage for the whole country to have. Gabions, as said in Baringo, and terraces. So we should come back to those. A little terrace will help you in your farming practices. Climate smart agriculture. Instead of subsidizing fertilizer, we make our own organic fertilizer. So the government should champion for us to make our own subsidies, and if you are able to make your organic fertilizer, then the other one should pay you that 2,500 ya kuuzia mkulima instead of selling at 1,200. Investing on drought and pest resistant crops. This is something that we should push forward because of the drought and floods. So when the drought comes, our crops continue. And then total ban on banned pesticides like glyphosate. So glyphosate is banned, but I think the teaching is not there because kama mnajua dawa inaitwa kausha, hiyo ni glyphosate. Widol ni glyphosate. Wameweka jina tu hapo, lakini the molecule iko ndani ni hiyo imebaniwa. So if you have used it na umesema nimeacha kutumia glyphosate, unatumia tu. So that education is what we need of what is glyphosate. Glyphosate is not a name of the company. Glyphosate is the molecule. Access to climate financing. So there are very strict rules to financing here where to get financing is very hard, and we need to make it less hard. Capacity building on village-based savings, hiyo ni kama SACCOs na machama, hata sasa tuko chama ya wakulima. Registration of farmers by counties, and this is what we have here. So we should also register ourselves and our friends, our farmers here, so that in every value chain. So Nakuru we have everybody registering, so we should go this way. Once tumeshikana watu wa Baringo, it will be easy. Na mkisema kuna shida, mkienda inasonga. Yes. Farmers to create FPOs. Dairy is the biggest one. Wakona every dairy area kuna FPO. Mbona hatuna za avocado? Mbona hatuna cooperative ya avocado? Hatuna ya kuku, ya mayai, hiyo macadamia, kahawa, kila kitu mpaka tuweke FPO. Ndio sasa tukiaggregate tunasema mimi nataka 100 per kilo ya avocado, usiniambie 40 na mnapewa. Government to reduce tariffs for the FPOs. Very good.
We have a union on top of the primary court.
Very good. Now, Bomet should teach us to do it. I think we can go to the next.
Thank you. So you can also read this one, which was like preempted.
So the support irrigation programs, these are part of in terms of the drought management. Improve access to climate information, and this should be even to village-based, not only on our phones. Promote resilient crops. I think we've talked about that. Increase climate adaptation funding.
Maybe on the livestock.
Maybe something on the livestock. We have extension officers kwa kila ward huko kwetu, lakini shida on the side of livestock in the ministry there is the livestock and the other one side. We really need people, extension officers in the livestock sector. They are better off pitting on the other side of agriculture, but not the livestock. So those are the challenges. Another thing is subsidized AI services and so forth. So these are, if we want to improve immediately, we want to improve our animals, then we need subsidized AI services and even the extension officers to be available.
Now we can progress to market, trade, and value addition so that we move fast. So we start with market access. So in terms of market trade and value addition, so we know in agricultural sector, market has been a problem to many of us, and that has been the major challenge, because you will know you have gone to farm and you perhaps don't know where to sell those produce you will be producing in the next maybe 2 to 3 months or 5 months or 7 months. So the main challenge here is, who do you sell your products? Because you have to sell eventually, and also there are other problems that come perhaps after maybe harvesting, because there are challenges like post-harvest losses. Maybe you have stored your harvest and you would want to maybe have food security for future. You want to store your maize, your beans, or you want to multiply seeds. So perhaps we come also to post-harvest solutions going forward. So we can start with poor market access. So these are challenges that farmers face. So we can discuss poor market access and how we can give recommendation on how to access the market. And that means, like, talking of value addition, meaning you are adding value for your product so that they can sell more than the raw products, right away, the raw harvest that you have just produced from your farm. So anyone who would want to discuss, maybe to share points in terms of market access and solutions. Majorly we are dealing with solutions. Those which are recommendations we want, and also maybe gray areas.
Market access ni jina kubwa, lakini wale watu wanatumia ile bidhaa tunatoa sana sana cash crops ambaye tunatoa kwa mashamba zetu, zingine inakuwa consumed by Kenyans, zingine inakuwa export. Ile tuna consume kama potatoes, kama mahindi, unakuta wakulima wamelima mahindi, wamelima potatoes, lakini ile shida tulisema ya barabara inakuwa ni shida. Sasa iende chini. Hiyo ni ya kwanza. Ya ile soko ya ng'ambo, sisi tunakuwa na challenge na ile requirements ya hizo inji ambaye wanatukubali sisi tuuzie hizo vitu. Kitu ya kwanza, ukipeleka China lazima uwe certified. You must be certified that hiyo mimea umetoa kama coffee, macadamia, avocado, nini. Lazima hao watu wa kuimport kutoka huko wakuje wahakikishe ile chakula tunapelekea hao ime-meet standard yao ya kule. Na wakulima wengi hawajui. Unaambiwa panda avocado, panda macadamia, alafu saa ile inataka kupelekwa huko unaambiwa kuna ugonjwa inaitwa sijui mangoes something. Na vile wewe uliweka pesa yako mingi sana huko, si tayari umevunjika moyo? Na hiyo ndio kitu ambaye Bwana Konesa alisema, tunataka agronomist, tunataka wale watu wafundishwe, waambiwe ukianza kufanya hii kazi, these are the challenges, na uwe mara ya kwanza uwe unajua vile utafanya mpaka umeet your requirements. Juzi wamekuja kwetu, wametufundisha, na wale watu wanatufundisha ni wale watu wanaenda kupima huko. Mimi sitaki kusema ni nani. Wanaenda kupima huko ndio waseme msi-export avocado, msi-export avocado, macadamia. Hiyo ndio kitu ambayo communication. Kuambia sisi au wakulima wa hapa, ukiwafundisha watafanya kazi. Kwa sababu nakumbuka in 1980s when I was a young boy, tuli-export. Unaona sukuma wiki ile unakula, tulikuwa na pack hapo Naivasha, sio mbali, na ilikuwa unaenda kuleta kwa shamba, unaweka, nakuta wasichana na vijana wanafunga, alafu wanapeleka. Wazungu wanakula. Siku hizi hakuna. Ukitaka kupeleka hiyo lazima wawe wamecertify. Hiyo ndio kitu ambayo tunayo. Shida sana ni ile roadblocks ambayo wanatuwekea huko kwao. ya ile masoko ya ng'ambo. That is what I want the government to actually help our farmers, to help the government. Sisi to export mingi, tutapata pesa mingi.
Thank you very much. Your point is taken. I appreciate that insight. Anyone else?
Maybe something on marketing is the strengthening of the cooperative societies. Yes, we form them from the village level. Na wale watu ambao wako huko chini haelewi maneno ya management ya finances, haelewi the governance systems. Unaona utu unasema huyu anajua kuchunga pesa. Yes, anaweza jua, lakini technically cannot, you know, she would not have you not be able to account for it. You know, given the money, hiyo pesa inaweza kupotea, si kupotea kwa kuibiwa, lakini labda haelewi. So I think we need the government to come in and strengthen cooperative societies in terms of governance issues. Unakuta watu tu wakiwa officials ya cooperatives, hii ni kama mali yao. Yaani hii ni mali yangu na naweza fanya vile naweza penda. But I think they should be regulated in a manner that the cooperative should be regulated, because the cooperative officers are the ones who are auditing. And if they are auditing, I think they are compromised, because we have never seen anybody being taken to court kwa sababu wameharibu mali ya watu. So I think they should strengthen the regulations in a manner that indemnities must be signed for. If you are in charge, you must sign some documents. Useme ya kwamba utachunga mali ya watu, si ati umepata mahali pesa iko unaweka mricha ile kubwa. So I think we need to strengthen that one. Sababu yule farmer aelewe hiyo maneno ya hesabu. Si ndio? Anasema tu si nimepatia fulani au chairperson. Lakini I think those are some of the things. This is where we are going wrong. By the time when we are reversing, kwa kulima wamepotea, ukijaribu kuwaleta pamoja wana refer na ile ya kwanza na ile ya pili, and they will never come together. Thank you.
Jambo tena. Nitaongea juu ya low farming prices. Na hii nataka ifikie kwa serikali kuu kwa wenye wako hapa, kama wanaweza kunifikishia hiyo ujumbe. Natoka Baringo na tunadili sana na maziwa. Tuko na shida kubwa sana ya wenye wanakuja kununua maziwa kwa maboma za watu, especially Brookside na KCC. They target farmers with the large volumes. Tuseme 150 liters to 50. Wakikuja kwa boma hiyo wanakupea 20,000 free. Alafu you sign a contract ya 6 months with a higher price for that period of 6 months. So kama society kama yetu Bogotio or Muberes wameenda sana. Na they are killing our societies pole. Because sasa kama huyo mkulima alikuwa analeta maziwa dairy, atakuwa anawapea nini KCC? So naomba serikali, if there is a way ya kublock hao watu wasikuja direct to farmers, wangoje pale, because they are processors, wangoje tu maziwa tukishafanya bei wanunue kutoka kwa process kuliko kukuja kwa mkulima mashinani. They travel with motorbikes na hata magari. So ule customer alikuwa analeta maziwa inaanza kuwa kidogo na inatuaffect sana. Kuna hata sisi tulishikana wote mpaka Rabi. In fact, as we are talking, wako na kula Elama Rabi wameweka. So kuna watu wa Rabi wenye wako na maziwa wameongea na hawa, they take their milk direct to that cooling plant hiyo yao wameweka. So because kuna soko huru, they are right, watasema soko ni huru, anybody can do anything for the brokers, hakuna sheria. So ningeomba serikali na hii iende sana mbali. Kama kuna njia wanaweza kukomesha hao watu, we will be very happy. Hiyo ndio na ombi langu, na hata ifike kwa president wetu Ruto, sorry. Because it is really killing us. Because at the moment we have a lot of milk. So prices inapokuja chini, milk inapokuwa mingi, prices the law of supply and demand. So kuna siku nasikia wameingia sehemu zingine, nasikia the wine kilicho sometimes back Siku ile prices zitakuja chini, watatoka kwa huyo mkulima. Na sasa akishatoka, atakuwa ameharibu hiyo society, hata wengine wamefunga. Si ni kweli? So are we expanding or you are reducing? So serikali please, mahali mtu atasikia aenda aseme tu maneno nimesema. Because kuna siku tulisema hata tutoboe hiyo tanka. Ikasemekana hakuna sheria because sheria ni soko huru. So kindly, if there is a law ipitishwe, mtu akaye anunue huko kwa market, angoje maziwa huko. Sio kukuja mpaka kwa jikoni ya mtu because wameingia ndani zaidi. We are really feeling it. Asanteni.
Yeah, arising from contributions kutoka Bwana Kones, Madam kutoka Baringo, and this gentleman here, when it comes to the discussion on low farm gate prices, exploitation by middlemen, na maneno ya value addition, I think I want to say this, that the bottom line is, if at this generation we cannot understand the importance of working with farmer organizations, the same problem will continue mpaka Yesu arudi. Let us tell our farmers to join farmer organization, irrespective of the level. Me, I'm from the cooperative sector. I will tell people to join cooperatives. There are people who aspire to join, what do you call that? What Kones said, inaitwa in ndogo naitwa nini? Kuna cooperatives na kuna ingine na CPOs, and then groups. The basic one is groups going to CPOs and then go to cooperatives. The whole world has succeeded by bringing farmers together. Why are our farmers not joining those institutions? Because exploitation comes when you are working alone. Now, on the issue of why some people don't join, it's because of governance. We have rules and regulations which govern cooperatives. But then it is the farmers themselves who need to manage their cooperatives. If somebody is not delivering to expectations, mnatakiwa kucorrect wenyewe at that level. For example, once you have elected people, you need to ensure that you elect people who deliver as required. You need to elect people who are obedient. You need to elect people who take care of your issues. If we start calling on government, warudi pia kutufundisha, I know the government has a role to play, but a lot of the role lies with us. So, naomba, when we go, let's strengthen our institutions and run well. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah. I think we can match all those agendas like low farm gates, farm up to where I selected.
Asante sana. Pole, nilikuwa hapa asubuhi alafu nikatoka kidogo because I'm also a chairman of a cooperative. I had to attend to urgent issues in town. So I apologize because I was almost the first one to be here. My name is Laban Choptarus, Chairman of Rongai Farmers Cooperative Society, which is in Kabarak here. You know, when you say your society, those names are sometimes difficult and you may not know where that society is. So we are situated at Rongai sub-county, hapa kwa Cheudama, hapa ndani. So yangu tu ni kuhimiza yale mwenzangu chairman wa KENAFF Nakuru, and I'm also the vice chairman of KENAFF Nakuru here, that sisi kama wakulima tumeanguka kwa sababu tunalia juu ya bei, na sisi wenyewe we are supposed to be determining our price. It is not the processor who is supposed to tell us bei ndio hii. Hapana, we are supposed to be saying our price today ndio hii. Na kwa nini hatujasema hivyo? Kwa sababu tumekawanyika, hatujakaa vizuri, hatujaungana, hatujaingia cooperative vile chairman amesema. Ndio sasa tuseme maziwa yetu Nakuru, the whole of Nakuru and God. And we should be able to negotiate with the process. And I support Madam there. The county government should not allow these people to come to our gates. Well, they will try their best, but always it is you. Why do you allow them to come to your gate and you have your cooperative? That means you have to be loyal. And so, let's, as we go back, let's strengthen our cooperatives, whether in Baringo, whether in Nakuru. Na, how do we strengthen? Sasa wewe unachukua mtu, alafu unawachia mali yako. You should be able to evaluate that person every now and then. Amefanya nini? Chairman amefanya nini? Secretary amefanya nini? Manager ya hiyo cooperative, kwa sababu hawa managers ndio wale wanaangusha. So if you don't have a good manager of your small group, itaanguka. We should have qualified people. We should have qualified board of directors of the groups, because ukichakua watu ila watasoma, surely watajua nini. So I think it is high time we also change the composition of our board members, and that will only happen when we set a criteria. Who should be a chairman? Who should be a board member? What should be the qualification? Hapo na maziwa ama hana? Ndio sasa tupate wale, those people who feel the pinch wakiuza kwa bei rahisi. So let's go back and start from there. Otherwise tukisema market access, unless we become strong in groups, hiyo market access itakuwa ngumu. We shall be having so many markets. Low farm gate prices, those are brokers. Why should you allow them? Why should you allow even Brookside to come direct to your gate? Mwambia aende kwa society, achukue maziwa kwa kula. So, exploitation by middlemen. Kwa nini unakubalia hoka akuje kwako? Hata yule wa avocado. Form a group so that we export these avocados as a group. Value addition, yes, that is the way we should go. Those cooperatives who have started making mursik, they are making a lot of money, because mursik watu nakunywa sana. So those who have not done it, hata kidogo ya add value, as we go back, can we start and we see the challenges. What are the challenges? And then we start from there. Tuko hapa, tunaweza kusaidiana. And then, let's strengthen cooperatives and then also train our workers so that hii maziwa iwe na quality. Ukiona mfanyakazi anasafisha matiti ya ng'ombe na ile maji iko kwa mrati, hiyo ni cleanliness kweli. Anachota alafu anasafisha matiti ya ng'ombe na kukamua. That is already spoiled milk. So we need quality product from the farm. Ndio yule akikuja mwambia anatafuta tu. So let's form groups and market our produce, and government should be able to assist us, because we have said barabara ndio mbaya. Those are the areas we should be talking about. Inspection, extension. Kwa hivyo mimi na mengi tukienda, let's strengthen our groups wherever we are. Thank you.
So thank you very much. So we'll rush now, we'll go to point B, see? I don't know whether we still have someone. I have something on exploitation.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to touch something on exploitation by middlemen. You know, these middlemen are very smart. They know where the market is, and they know where the products are. So it's always smart in between, just like in every field, even in political arena. That is before one aspires for a certain position, the broker is already there. So I think we are supposed to incorporate these people into the system, because we cannot get rid of them. And then we license them, so that we know actually that is the real price and what he intends, that is to get in between. Because sometimes we might consider that is a transporting, for example, that is a avocado. You are told that is in a backhouse, that is you are paid at 85. And then maybe you are not in a position that is to take your goods as a cooperative. So this broker can now chip in back with a license. So that if it is 85 and he comes and say, okay, let us bargain. I have 75 and then you leave for me 10 shillings. I think that will be a fair game. Because without these brokers, that is, we might also, that is in a very big mess. Thank you.
So one of the biggest solutions to market value addition and what have you, we realized one big challenge is as farmers we are not united. So that's we need to unite as farmers. We also need to become brokers ourselves. So to reform our FPOs, our FPO becomes our broker, our middleman. We need to go to China. If it's Baringo coffee, where is your coffee being sold? If you know that, send to somebody. Mkichanga 100 pop, so that your chair can go there and look for the market. Now you take it direct. Now you make the money. Hakuna mambo ya hapa katikati. That's just the biggest thing. As farmers, we just need to strengthen ourselves. Once we strengthen ourselves, all these other people will come to us. Now we are going to them, begging them, so chukue maziwa. We don't want that. Now let's focus, us as farmers, we make our own solutions, because these are the solutions. We need to join FPOs. If they are middlemen, we license them, but in due time, you become the middleman. You are the one who should sell it and add value to it. In terms of value addition, I think the biggest challenge is accessing those equipment for doing value addition. And that's where the government comes in. That's why I think on all these bad roads and those for getting this, importing the machinery, those are the things we need to shout. Because we cannot tell the president, brokers. We need to tell the president we need the machinery to be cheaper. That one is something they can do in parliament. But when we tell the brokers wanakuja kwa shamba, sino waingiza. Yes. So let's tushikane as farmers, and that's, I think, number one for markets. Because once we aggregate, our prices become better, because tunakuwa choyo na product na watu wanataka.
So we can read point C now.
Food security and nutrition. The discussion points are the food shortages that are there, post-harvest losses, nutritional challenges, indigenous fruit crops. There are so many. I think these are the problems. Now, what are the solutions to all of these? Maybe you take 2 or 3 and tell us, so that
can read, and then they just say
pick some then, because all of these are cross-cutting.
Yes, we can talk about seeds. Yes. So anyone? So you can raise up your hand and discuss something.
Pick one of the challenges.
Thank you. Let me just say, allow me to sit there. Daniel Balino. On market access, I have a second. If we bulk our products, we standardize the market needs in terms of the quality. Now, let me talk on sustainable food production. And when we talk of sustainable food production, I tend to ask myself, can we have whereby the quality of the produce we produce as farmers, whether farmer organization or individual farmer, is actually meeting the standard that is required? I was listening to someone saying that for export market, the standard that is given is different from the local market. Who said that the local market cannot consume the international standard? It is because we produce poor quality products at times that we say wacha mbaya ni kwe yetu, nani ile mzuri iende kwa mzungu. Who said that? So unless we standardize also the market. For example, if the market needs for the international market for milk is to meet certain parameters, can we stick it also from that production at a farm level that we are meeting that standard, whether it's crops already producing?
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? We want to go to youth in that area. We will be skipping a lot because time is up. It is not because I'm trying to avoid, but because time is far much spent. Or you wanted to talk something about food security and nutrition? Yes, you can summarize for the benefit of all of us.
Thank you. I'm talking from experience. Seeds, we are still deficient in seeds, and we are not good getting the variety we want in most places. You remember last year we had shortage at Kenya Seed, and you know normally when there is shortage, these fake seeds zinaingia kwa sababu watu wanajikoroga, wanaweka hiyo mfuko ya Kenya Seed na wanauza. So last year tulinunua fake seeds because Kenya Seed did not perform. Let me say, I don't know whether they are here. Kenya Seed did not perform. This year it is better. This year it is better, but all varieties were better. So we opted to go to the other seeds like 777 and the others, which looks like better. So we would like Kenya Seed to up their whatever performance, and then also open stores nearer to the farmers, because even the farmer in the village, hii mbegu haifiki, ikifika imeongezwa bei. So we would like Kenya Seed to open as many branches as possible closer to the farmer. And then on fertilizer, although we got fertilizer, but not adequate, not at the right time. So if the government want to subsidize, it should be available. It should be available, because hata mwaka hii hatukupata, tunanunua hiyo 200 kama kwa cooperative inaisha the same day, ukirudi hakuna. So kama hiyo mbolea ingekuwa mpaka saa hii tuko na CN, crop ingekuwa mzuri sana, kwa sababu inanyesha like Nakuru. We have had very good rains. On the storage we are still very poor. Tukiweka mahindi inakulwa na panya, inakulwa na weevils, inaibiwa. It's very risky for the farmer to keep a lot of harvested crop within the boma. So we would like also NCBB wawe karibu na sisi, kwa sababu hiyo ni mahali tutaweka chakula. Tutaweka chakula huko mahindi, na sisi wengine kama tuko na dairy kama Baringo ama wapi, tujaribu sana tujenge stores, ndio hii hay kutoka Rongai isipande huko, ikuje wapi huko kwenu. Baringo can still produce a lot of milk, lakini iko wapi store ya kuweka chakula ya ng'ombe? Hakuna. So we need also to work very hard. Kabartonjo uwe na store, Kapchakor huko wapi, ndio hiyo watu watoe maziwa like Kitunguri. Hawana shamba, ukienda huko kwetu ni eka 5 na hakuna maziwa. Ukienda huko mtu ile uko na 50 by 100 anatoa lita 300, na sisi hatuna. So we need really to look at storage because without storage hakuna kazi tunafanya. Asante sana.
Thank you. Anyone who would want to contribute food security, food and nutrition? So we go to youth in agriculture, and then also we go to women, youth stroke women. Few points and then we will progress.
I'm Peter. I want to talk more about youth in agriculture. One thing, youth in agriculture, we should consider agriculture as the last option in life. After kutafuta kibarua umekosa, kumuuliza unafanya nini na limaka tu. Hiyo tu inamaanisha ningepata ingine ningeenda. So youth in agriculture, we want to encourage them to be with us. And encouraging them to be with us is giving them chances to enjoy agriculture. Like me, I'm in dairy. When you're in dairy, you can take a way of getting your son to be your accountant or your recorder or whatever way you have in there. So wakati maziwa imekuja na imelipwa na cooperative, mpe ile check aenda deposit na umwambie after this check matures, what do I have to buy? Takata kwambia sijui ile simu kubwa ndogo hataki. So where money comes from. Umwonyeshe hii pesa tunauza maziwa imefanya ununue hii smartphone. In another way also to encourage our youth in agriculture, give them portions. Lima hii portion, kama ni avocado, kama ni macadamia, kama ni nini. Kama mmepewa namba moja kama vile kahawa inapeana namba. Ukichukua ile fedha, subtract the kilos ule mwanayuzi amepeleka. Mpe his dues or her due. Si atakuwa encouraged. Kama nimepeleka 100, kama ingekuwa 200, ingekuwa na 5,000. What kills our youth in agriculture ni kwamba wanafikiria ni jembe tu na gambut na overall na kutoa maji na penzi za ng'ombe. Let them also enjoy in exploring. Waende kule kwa WhatsApp, watuambie what is happening in America, we can also do here in Kenya. We access those linkages. So we, the older people, because if you look at the age limit in agriculture, utakuta ni 50s and above. Si tukitoka, tutakuwa tukiimport maziwa mala kutoka Australia. Sababu we are not keeping us going on. So that was I encourage our youth by showing them the positiveness in agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Women in agriculture, so maybe someone. I'm surprised men are preventing women.
Okay, when it comes to youth and women in agriculture, because I think it is one group, the biggest challenge in our society setup, when it comes to women, wanakuanga tu pale nyuma ya mzee. And the biggest challenge, because me, I am in the seed industry, and normally because I am a very serious farmer, so I keep records. When I come and close the season and see how many women bought seeds and how many men, it is 99% men and 1% women. That tells you how far women are participating in agriculture. And I came to realize that it is not that really women are not really in agriculture, but the society setup iko shida kidogo. Me, I am a farmer, but mama is in another profession, and she barely even comes to the farm. You see, so anaona kama hiyo kazi ya ukulima ni kazi ya mzee. You see, so we have a problem. The biggest inachangiwa na our social setup as a society, but really they can contribute very much, because when they are encouraged to come in, and also when you want women to come in and participate fully in agriculture, give the woman autonomy. they need to be given first of all autonomy in our small farm. Mama ako na shamba yake pale, analima. Because of affirmative, you can help her here and there. Maybe seeds here, technical advice. Alafu ikifa wacha mama aweke pesa kwa mfuko. And then you encourage those people going forward. But really, we have a very big gap between women and men in agriculture. When it comes to youth, the biggest problem is even capital, access to financing, because mimi sina title, shamba ni ya mzee, sina loan book, unaona. So access to finance by youth is a very big challenge. It's a very big challenge. And even women, mama atapata wapi title deed ambayo itachukua pesa bank? Asipopata ile yake ya table banking, ile kidogo ya chama, basi maneno yake yote inakwama. So access to financing, access also to land. Now we want youth to come and do farming, but also access to land under a competitive agricultural field is a very big challenge to the youth. Because first of all, if you don't have the money to lease, where will you start agriculture? Because the basic, when that land is not available, you don't even need to dream in agriculture. But there is an opportunity that is upcoming, where these youth can invest. We have now technology. You see, maybe one or two of you have interacted with Viazi Kings. That's where most of farmers buy seeds. It is a platform that is being operated by the National Potato Council. There is also some youths now, I am working personally with them. They sat down and form a platform. They call themselves Farm All, instead of the Farm All. So they sat down and they formed a platform whereby farmers can interact, whereby farmers can know where best seeds are, best breeds of animals are, best breeds of poultry are, where you can sell. They are connected to this hotel, even including this one that we are. So they have a platform and they are really still improving on it. I was encouraging them the other day because I had an opportunity to go to their place. And I told them, it should not only be that you send farmers to me, form a platform whereby those farmers can pay. You take your commission there and you follow my payments so that we can also break the chain. So that if youths can come now and invest in technology, even this market thing access, even if we want to eradicate even these brokers, why don't we invest in technology? Because when now everything is in-house, if brokers are get what? Those guys who comes to your farm every morning to check whether you have milk, they will not be there. Because if this youth invest in technology, they will connect you to KCC, Brookside direct. You see, so there is now a very big room for youths in agriculture when it comes to technology. So I think that's where youths should invest. And as KENAFF, you can sit down and have a youth forum. If you want a purely youth forum and youth-led organizations, especially those in the ICT sector, you bring them in. So that if you have one or two farms in KENAFF, youth-led, and they are in the ICT sector, we can bring these people now to help us. Najua sisi sahi hatuwezi rudishwa mambo ya technology. Mimi ni mtu ni ajembe na kinikuta saa ingine ninafaa niko juu ya tinga ama lori. Hiyo saa hii mimi siwezi pambana nayo. But these young people, KENAFF can sit down and have a youth forum, so that we can also have an outreach to encourage our youths to join agriculture, and especially now in technology. Thank you.
And adding to that, juu tumesema sisi ni KENAFF, tusiseme KENAFF should, we should say sisi kama KENAFF tufanye hivi. Usiseme KENAFF ni kama mtu wako huko. Ni wewe ni KENAFF pia. Yes.
Yeah. Earlier on, I had said that we need to join organizations that work with farmers. And KENAFF, our own organization, is one of them. Within KENAFF, we have our KENAFF Youth Council that promotes issues of the youth. We also have Women Council that promotes women issues within KENAFF. Having said that, I think what we can do from here is to cascade those councils to our other small organizations, like the cooperatives, like everything else. As we talk, I want to thank some cooperatives for having done that. I want to tell you that once you've been elected to be a leader, you are not just to come into your organization and just sit and do what that organization has been doing over the years. As leaders, we need to challenge ourselves that we have been elected there to go and think on behalf of those who have elected us. So as an organization, when you sit, think about issues that can promote youth in your organization. Think about activities that can promote women in your organization. I want to thank a few cooperatives. Some of them are in this room. Others may not be here. I'm also part of others, but we can give examples. In a cooperative society where I sit in, we decided to think about any activity that can promote youth. And we are a dairy cooperative. So we decided that instead of using old men to transport milk, let's give this opportunity to youth. And because youth are very quick, they can bring the milk, badala wazee kuleta na mpunda na ng'ombe, tupatie vijana. And very quickly, we developed a system for the youth to participate. We told them we can organize for you to have motorcycles. So we went to a company, we signed for motorcycles, 10 of them, and we invited the youth to take over the transport, and they were buying those motorcycles. Don't give anything for free. Give them at a price in a factory. After all, you can afford to sign off some money for them to acquire. Instead of buying a motorbike at 200,000, 180 huko wananunua na 100 peke yake. And youth started transporting milk. Within no time, they were making a lot of money. In fact, they were buying other motorcycles for themselves. They refunded what we gave them. And from the same thing, the youth started keeping their own animals. They started leasing land and transporting milk. They started forming their own associations to start saving and do some merry-go-round among themselves. And they were able to grow into rich people through our initiative. So that is the meaning of a leader. When you come to women, we thought at some point that women are doing a lot of work at the farm. But how can we make them benefit? We discovered that in this part of the world, particularly the Kalenjin side, men collect milk in the morning. They make sure that the milk has been taken to the cooperative. Thereafter mtu anachukua bakora yake anaenda asema maziwa jioni fanyie vile mnataka, ya asubuhi ni yake. So we told the women, instead of keeping that milk, selling freely to hawkers, we can collect and give you a number. And the wazis did not oppose, because the evening milk, they have no problem with it. And we discovered that the evening milk was very clean, because it's milk, it doesn't stay overnight. Hakuna mtu anaweza leta ile imelala. So wana milk saa hiyo, we told the youth to collect the milk from the mothers, and very quickly we started having afternoon milk from farmers, and mainly women farmers. When women started having their own numbers, I mean, they started working like men and having their own budgets. And we discovered that when we allowed the women to deliver the milk, maziwa asubuhi pia ikaongezeka. Maana mama analisha ng'ombe jioni sana ndio itoe maziwa, kumbe asubuhi pia inatoa zaidi. Na milk double ya wanaume na ya wamama. So we need to think for the community, guys. When you are a leader, think. The only thing I want to say for the benefit of this meeting is the government should work with cooperatives to identify some of those things and support them. Badala ya kutupa pesa ya nyota, sijui ya nini huko, let them identify cooperatives who are doing things and support those initiatives. It will be beneficial to both the government and to the cooperatives and to the community and to everyone. Thank you.
Nani alisema vijana wanataka kazi? Yes.
Last one.
Thank you very much. In fact, I am one of the youth who is fully in farming. So I want to say one very hard thing for the youth is access of land. I think wases wameshikilia sana shamba, for which they need exposure. As we say that youths don't like farming, let's also expose our parents so that they learn. If they give our youths a small piece of land, if they maximally utilize that small piece of land, then I think our parents will be encouraged to add more. For example, I was given a very small piece of land when I was starting way back in 2012. I was given 3 points. I maximally used the 3 points piece of land, and I could do a lot of things. I started in receiving a lot of visitors who came to see what I was doing in a very small piece of land. My dad added me another 1 point, and again added me another 1 point to the 5 points. So I maximally used the small piece of land. So nowadays, when visitors come to my farm, na wamama wanakuja wanasema I wish mzee angekuja, so that akienda nyumbani ataenda kushare information, aseme huko yule kijana alipewa shamba kidogo na akatumia vizuri. So they want such exposure. Nini tunapeleka wazee, tunaonyesha what other youths are doing, so that wakiwa nyumbani they also teach their sons. Another thing, I think the system, the whole curriculum of education was poorly portraying a farmer as a very poor person. Because I remember when you see how they were showing a farmer, wanachora mkulima ameweka chembe na with very torn clothes. Then daktari amewekwa vizuri, mwalimu amewekwa vizuri, then I think mwanafunzi akisoma, then they will see a farmer as a very poor person. But you can see right now, if you come to my place or if you see me, some of the things I am employing somewhere, because even farming can put you very well. In terms of women, I think women are doing very well in farming. I know quite a number of them. I know Ivy. She comes from Bomet and she's doing a lot. And I know quite a number of women. What I've done to my wife, we opened 2 accounts. She runs for vegetables and other things. So women feel like hata kama atumii hiyo pesa, but akiona account yake, ana na manage account yake. Pesa tunatumia collectively, but unajua kama tumetengeneza paybill, kuna paybill ya poultry and other products, and then kuna paybill ya vegetables, and ikifika mahali mtu amekuja kununua kwako, unaambia hiyo inaenda kwa account ya farm, but even the women will feel very nice knowing she has account, even though you will collectively use the same amount in running the business. So what I'm trying to say, youth and women, they are the one doing a lot of farming. Wase wako na shamba kubwa, wameweka chai, labda chai peke yake na ng'ombe. But these small activities, vegetables, rabbit farming, poultry farming, those are the ones that youth and women are majorly involved in, and it requires a very small piece of space. And those things will still fetch higher returns as compared to the tea plantation and the coffee plantation that Oasis are doing. I'm actually doing very small things, and it has higher returns. That's what youths and women are majorly involved in. Thank you.
Let me answer you. I want to applaud the young farmer. I think as Wazir, I think he's very right. He's very right that we really need, as the landlords, I would say we are supposed to be landowners. And I think we should relax our culture. Yeah, maybe I can share a bit of what I do on my farm. I'm an avocado farmer, and I have one acre for avocado, and my wife has got 1 acre, and every son has got an acre each of avocado. So when I receive the money, which is, it comes to my account, and my wife also receives cash through IMPS direct, not through me. And she is very encouraged, because before then I could see my farm, nobody cared. But by the time when when she was getting her own money, then she came in and she would assist a lot. So same applies to, say, my wife and my other children, each has got individual account. And then we have a separate farm, 5 acres of avocado. Then this one now belongs to all of us. All my sons and all my daughters, whether they are married or not. So this will keep us together. So that is my own policy. I am married, senior. So this one keeps us together. I'm the landowner, and I don't agree my land to be subdivided. So the land belongs to us. We add value to this land. We use it together, and we don't sell the land. And everybody understand that. So I thought that we should share some of what we do. Thank you.
I think that is very important. I don't want to appeal at the point, but let me allow Ivy to continue.
Okay, thank you very much. As I said earlier, I'm Ivy and I'm from Bomet. I want to bring this in a simpler manner. For example, youth and women. These are the people who are doing a lot in the society. They are very industrious and they have that energy, they have the passion. But our government does not even follow what is coming from the farm. They only follow what is going to the farm. What do I mean? For example, in Kisi, we have if the county government are collecting the waste, they are collecting the waste, they are sorting them, and they are even going to an extent of crushing the organic waste. So whoever youth or women who are doing the black butterfly farming, they can access those food in a very easier way. What do we do in our county governments? We know there are youths who are doing these businesses, but we don't even know their farms. If they can chip in, let them know what we are doing. Let them come to the ground, see what we are doing, and even try to support what we are doing. We are not asking them to give us for free, but to give us a subsidized fee. These are very industrious people. So we are calling upon the government. Let them come to the ground. Let them not only see what is coming to the ground, and they don't know what is coming from the ground. For example, we have these women doing a lot of things like vegetables, but we don't have the storage. I can have a lot of vegetable, but I don't have a store where I can store this thing before it gets spoiled. If I am doing chicken farming, if I slaughter my chicken, I throw away the legs, I throw away the head. If we can have the county government having, let's say something like a factory, I want to talk in terms of poultry farming. Let's say they have a factory. If I slaughter my chicken, I go and sell them. I sell them the heads or the legs. They can have a factory for what we call it, the pets food. They can even sell to outside because our dogs are eating what we have in our homes. But this is going to be an extra income for the youth. We have things like feathers for the chickens. What do we do with them? We throw them away. So this actually comes in that manner, like my friend has said as a sword. Back in our school, we used to see a farmer as someone who is very poor. But actually farmers are not poor people. It is the government who is not helping these farmers to come up rich the way they are supposed to be rich. We are not supposed to be having a waste from our farms. I don't know if my point was very clear. Let's have these factories. Let's support these people. Let's come to the ground. Let them come to the ground. Let them know what you are doing. We have agricultural ministries, but they don't even know where is Hyvin, what Hyvin is doing, and how am I going to support Hyvin. I might not even want to be supported financially, but I want to be supported even for my things not to rent from the farm, or even my food to reach to the market. But I don't have this support. How will I encourage my son to do the same thing yet? My son is seeing me, I'm struggling. Sorry? My son is seeing me that I'm struggling, but I'm not doing what? I'm not getting what I'm supposed to be getting. How will I encourage him? He's going to be doing some other thing. But if I am supported, even the generation are going to be joining because they will be, they will know that I am doing something good and something good is coming out of it.
Thank you very much, Ivy. So we will progress to agricultural financing and insurance so that we save time because we want to touch everything. So agricultural insurance, someone to maybe summarize on behalf of all of us.
Okay, thank you. When it comes to agricultural insurance, I think the bigger gap is with the major, even as we look at the government, that it should do this, it should do this, at times the government is also the leading consumer in an economy. But when you look at insurance, the access to insurance for crop and livestock is very minimal. It is because of the risk that is associated with it that even many insurance companies cannot literally want to come and insure your farm. Also, but the government can help a lot, because if the government can come up with a product, because I think the major problem we also have in this country is the agricultural policy. Every sector is kind of, they have their own policy there, another sector has their own policy there, we don't have one in-house policy that is governing agriculture in this country. That because if we could have one in-house policy, even the insurance sector could have been inside. So the insurance sector, when it comes to agriculture, we don't have a single policy. And I think it is high time that the government of Kenya can come in and see how we can have one in-house policy for agriculture. Because when it comes to insurance, okay, I happen to do barley. To give a live example, I do seed multiplication for barley for Kenya breweries. And of course, Kenya breweries have, they do have insurance. They have collaborated with insurance companies so that a farmer is insured. So it is insured to some level, and they do insure tulikuwa tunaongelelea maneno ya floods. If your farm is infected by heavy rains, if it is infected by lack of rains, there is a minimum that we have agreed that if my farm cannot if I can't get 20 bags per acre of certified barley seeds of 90 kgs, we need to come to the farm and assess why. If it is anything associated with climate, I am insured to a certain number of bags. If I was expected to get 30 and I get 15, the other 5, the insurance company will pay me for the other 5. You see? And at times we access these seeds as advanced seeds. So even it happens at times the losses come 100%. But due to that insurer, the insurer can give you money, and even you can pay back the insured seeds, and at least even if you don't get a profit, but you are at a level that you can come back and work. So insurance, when it comes to insurance, we are very far away as a country when it comes to insurance for farmers. Even animals, you get a dairy. For me, I have been trying now to see whether I can start a dairy farm. But when you interact with those big farmers in Kizunguri, anakuambia ng'ombe ni 1,300. Is it insured? Unanunua ng'ombe 1,300 bila insurance. Alafu ikifika nyumbani siku 2, 3, 4 imeinama. Maneno inakuwa namna gani? So insurance is very critical. We need to have insurance. And I think as KENAFF, because kuna mtu aliniambia wacha kusema namna hiyo ingine. These are things that we need to speak about. We need to have farmers. And when we have farmers, we also bring these insurance companies in so that we can see if the insurance company can fully penetrate the agricultural sector and save farmers. But what I know, the problem is the policy up there. The policy up there is not giving the insurance companies a proper landing site to insure farmers. And you know it is about risk. It is about risk. Na ukiona serikali huko juu vile wameinvest kwa risk, they are only talking about risk. But here tuko flat. And those are the serious gaps that are affecting the Kenyan economy, the growth of the economy. Because today, if we could insure farmers in this country, both livestock and those in the farms, in the crop sector, we could really be, we will even encourage, you see, even many farmers, today you invest $1 million in potatoes, and blight comes, it sweeps the farm. Do you think that farmer will come back? But with insurance, he will literally come back. So it's a very serious gap. It's something that we must continue speaking about in every forum, and it is high time, Mkubwa, we also because now we are an alliance that we need to speak for all the farmers in this country. We need also to speak with the insurance so that they can tell us we could insure all your farmers in this country. But this is where the problem is, so that maybe all of us can sit down and have a solution. That's how things goes. Ni sisi tu tutasukuma isonge nini? Isonge mbele. We don't have another country. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I think that is well taken. Next discussion is technology research and extension services. Someone to maybe give us some insight, and so that we capture also this. We don't want to miss any point in terms of what affects the farmers, because this is very important.
William Chamalan from Damarawi. Just on technology research and extension services. I would like to say Kenyan farmers are very, very hard-working people. Very hard-working people. And they have a lot of ideas. We meet in forums like these ones, we make a lot of recommendations. But the implementers of those recommendations is where we have a problem. Our county government and our national government, if you look at the budget they give to research, if you look at the funding they give to even to technical officers, that is where we have a problem, because our Kenyan farmers really are working hard and they want to produce, but now we are getting a problem with the technical staff because they are not able to reach the farmer. We are getting a problem with those who are supposed to do some research on diseases. So I think the big problem that I want to say is who are supposed to implement whatever we talk about in such forums like this one. So these are recommendations that the county government and the national government should put in place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Maybe last one for technology and research.
Okay, I was thinking like if the government work with the institution, for example, we have universities, we have debates that are within certain counties. Why don't we have a program whereby the students and the lecturers are attached to do the programs within those farming organizations that are there? For example, if it's a dairy cooperative, can they incubate that cooperative rather than providing incubation centers somewhere else? Because this is a real life example where the student can learn on that. At the same time, the institutions can increase the knowledge gaps that are there, either in terms of the leadership or in terms of the manpower resources to employ the qualified staff. So if the government can enroll this, I remember there was a case for Ethiopia where we were complaining as Kenyans that we have a lot of tomatoes from Ethiopia. Now the Ethiopian government were funding institutions, students to do the research from nursery management, student in extension to mobilize farmers so that each farmer, each student on extension has a certain number of farmers, they know how many seedlings they require for tomatoes. Then those in business administration were looking for the market in Kenya. Others were looking for transport means to bring it to Nairobi. So the whole value chain, the institution was able to get to gather through. And that is when we started now crying that tomatoes from Uganda in Ethiopia was flooding Kenya. If we can replicate this within our institutions and our organization, I think also we go far.
Thank you for technology. If there is no one else, we can proceed to policy governance, farmers representation, and so on.
One more.
Okay.
One more for technology. I think talking about technology, there is a serious disconnect between farmers and the market. And I think I wanted to talk about this point when we were in youth and we, where I come from, and I think my fellow farmers can attest, there is a serious disconnect between the market, the producers and the market, farmers and the market. And the little help we've been getting is through social media, through Facebook. You are able to learn the different market trends. Maybe those farmers doing it in Nakuru, those in Bomet, those in Kericho. So if we cannot, because you said we should own this and say we can use we can come up with maybe a platform where farmers can access information about market prices in different areas. Like for us who are in Narok, everything ends with the middleman. Anything beyond there, no farmer knows how things are sold, maybe in Nairobi. That's a very serious concept. So also on research, we have seen so many medicines failing in the farm. Unaleta unapiga inakataa. That means there's hata huko kwa research maybe vitu mingi imeruhusiwa kuingia ambayo haifai. About extension services, there is a gap in extension services, especially just unazungumzia mahali unatoka. Extension services are lacking, and I don't know exactly why. I don't know whether it's because it was default or what, because we are lacking the extension officers in the ground. Na wangekuwa ndo wanasaidia sana sana. So I think we should also, the government should also check on extension services so that we get quick services, maybe from this experienced or professional people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we progress to policy, governance, and farmer representation. Someone who would feel to represent us in this as we wind up and we... Yes?
After me, I will talk about this, and one thing I will talk about the previous point, which was on farm mechanization. If you go for a new tractor, TT75, those 75 horsepower tractors are going for 3.8 to 4 million SAI. But the price in India is around 2.5. I was doing to compare what is wrong with Kenya. And even the implements, a silage harvesting machine in India, here orange, is 250,000. Here it is 1 million. And it is because in India, they invited factories, companies to come and manufacture and give them, and give those factories subsidies. And this is something in Kenya we don't have. There is no factory Matinga, Kenya. There is no factory producing these implements. So we have to get them from abroad, and the taxes, shipment. So our farming is very expensive. So one of the things I think we should put down is policies on to bring manufacturing to Kenya in terms of farm implements and equipment. So that each tractor, if you go with 2.5 million, you get a good tractor. You don't need 4 million. The 4 million, you get a tractor and implements. Unapata jembe, arrow. When you enter farming, you enter full. So that's something that we need to also. And I think mmeona hiyo challenge where the tractor is so expensive, you have to buy second hand. Wewe kila saa uko hapa town ukitafuta spares. So I think that's something also we need now that comes to the policy makers. Invite these companies to come and manufacture in Kenya, and it will be the first one in Africa. So we'll also be exporting to these African countries.
Thank you. Someone to represent us in policy, governance, and farmer representation.
Thank you, Wananang.
Thank you again. Me, I would like to talk more about the farmers' representation. Whenever we have such a meeting like today's, if we could move around and note your names and what you do, you will find that we don't have proper farmers in the room, because we have brave case farmers who are not doing little farming. So whenever a bill or a policy is needed for a proper farmer, unakuta imeenda kwa wasio kwa wakulima. So farmer representation should have the people in mind who are doing the little thing, doing the farming. When they complain of seeds, when they complain of fertilizers, they are talking from their inner heart. That is the real happening on the ground. So farmer representative or representations should be done by somebody who is doing farming, not anybody within our facility. So that is my point to take home. Also, the governance in our cooperatives, in our country and all this, we should be having our CSEs who have that background of farming, or even those who are doing farming right now, so that when we talk of any improvement, like my son has said there, improvement in prices in our tingatinga, inamuuza, because he is also doing kutafuta hiyo spare part in Nakuru. Lakini tukileta wakulima ambao wamekuja tu kuwa sababu ni ukulima tu, we will never end up complaining. Thank you.
Again, asante sana. Governance ni kitu ambaye hatuwezi fundisha wewe. Governance is coming from your heart, passion, and it's coming from the trust principles of you not going to harm the other people near you. So governance is something that is very important. So when you are electing your officials in your small units of farmers organization, don't elect people simply because they have very big mouths. Elect people who will actually know that farmer A, farmer number 3, farmer number 20 ana eka moja na mimi nina eka 10, lakini ile mahitaji huyo mkulima anataka lazima yeye apate ile bei inapata kama mkulima mkubwa. And that is where your cooperative will flourish. Our cooperative do not grow simply because we are greedy. We want to be rich without sweating. You want to be rich at the age of 25, simply because you know there is a loophole to use to steal. But if you have that heart, that principle that I don't want to steal, I want to earn my sweat, that is where governance come in. That is where principles of your life comes in. Let us not pretend that we are people who go to church, pray God, and do this. You should actually say, I'm praying God, and you know that God is with you every now and then, so you do not go and cheat, because you are cheating and we are seeing you. We are seeing you, and when we tell you, you start looking for threats to the people who are supporting that small farmer. So we should have people with discipline. In terms of policy, I tell you, in agriculture we have the best policies, but those policies are put in the shelves, And when one want to implement, they don't know where to start and how to start. The problem is us who are actually in position, whether you are a farmer, whether you are in the church, but mostly farmers. Let us support those farmers who are next to us and tell them, please, you are actually, I know you are poor, we are all poor, but don't sell your product to somebody because you are desperately needing money. Let us see the best, says the way somebody said, the best way to help you by giving you a loan from small circle, we said it is there so that you can get relief. Let us not imagine somebody will come and support us. There is no one. It is going to be ourselves as farmers, you and me. I keep on sitting down. In this room I've had 4 telephone calls. I want this product to be sold. I want this. And I keep on saying, that trust, I've earned it, not because I've given these people money. I've earned it because I tell them, don't do this. If you do this, you are going to go wrong. I've had the beatings. Some brokers come, they say, I'm going to pay the farmer tomorrow. But I say, no. Before you pick the product, either potatoes or French beans or whatever, from the farmer, come away, be serious, ununuzi. Let us tell our farmers, before you release your product from the farm, that is what the policy should be. That buyer must pay you before you release your goods. If you wait to be paid later, sorry, you are falling into the prey of what? Tax, wezi. If you want to do that. So let's have, in terms of governance, let's have policies which are very simple, clear, and favoring me and you, not favoring others. Representation. You know, we have taken farming to be like politics. Politics is a game of thugs, but farming is a game of honest people. Your shamba is not owned by somebody else. You own it the minute you lose your age and energy as you grow old. It is your son or your daughter who will come and take care of it. Nobody else will take it. Nobody else will take it. So that farm of yours as a representative is that you inculcate those good values to your members. Inculcate good values to your members. And that is where you will succeed. I work with the Americans, I work with the British in this country, and the first thing they told me was honest. Honest. There is nothing else. Let us not look at that politician. That is a person who is passing. But you yourself, you are going to be there forever until you leave this world. Thank you.
Honestly, it's the best policy.
I think you will summarize and then we will close the plenary. Thank you. This is the last opportunity for everyone.
For me,
So I leave.
Thank you very much. I only want to add something on policies. In Bomet, we we are supposed to be having CASCOM. CASCOM does not work there, and we want to request the county government of Bomet to operationalize CASCOM. This is where the value chains come in, and it is a big challenge that we have. We want to request our county government maybe to encourage through this through KENAFF, so that it is operationalized. We don't know what has happened. It was launched 3 years ago. It has never worked. Another thing is that is under governance. Another thing is that allocation of funds to agriculture. I think in Maputo declaration, I think they declare that a minimum of 10% of the total budget should be for agriculture. But I think what we have at the moment from the national government, I think it's 1 point something or 2. So where is the rest of the money going? So I think through KENAFF we should really push that we need to maintain that we have at least 10%. Other than that, we are wasting time, because all our money is going elsewhere. It is not coming back to the farming. So I really support this, that we should really push that the budget. We should have at least a minimum of 10% in agriculture. Something.
Thank you very much, Honourable Chairman. I want to give one chance to one woman. I have not heard a woman voice in this. We have heard about the youth. Ama ni mimi sikusikiza. No, not just talking. Yeah, you contributed, yes. But according to the cross-cutting issues, where did you, or you have no challenges for the woman farmer? You talked about it? Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much for the productive deliberations. What I would just urge all of us is that this conversation should not die with the passing of the World Farmers Organization General Assembly. Because as we were talking, some of us are pointing at the government, some of us are pointing to the fact that there has been so many deliberations. It's like that, there is a story we used to do in primary school when there was a crisis. You know, the cat and the mouse crisis. Wakati panya wakasema tumekuliwa na paka sana, so we need to develop a strategy to prevent this from happening. And they decided wataiweka kengele so that when it is approaching, they can hear and know that there is threat around. Then there was one very old mouse who did not contribute. I don't know if it is me because I did not contribute. And akashambuliwa na wengine, akaulizwa, na wewe umenyamaza hapa? Are you not happy about those resolutions and deliberations? When he spoke, or when that mouse spoke, the meeting ended. All the resolutions watered, because the question was, who is to put that kengele? Who? Is it the government? Is it KENAFF? Is it you who is seated here? Who is going to put that kengele? Because we have talked about these things, good resolutions, good points, but now who is going to put that kengele? That is the question. That is the question we should live with, that each one of us is liable. Is liable, not only the government, each one of us. The theme is future fields. And what has come up from this plenary is that the land pressure is increasing every day with increase in population and those other challenges. So the investment should really be focused on productivity improvement, strengthening our capacity to produce more using I'm talking about, I think there's a problem. All right, we are talking of productivity improvement. That calls for us to improve on our efficiencies, on our structures, on our organizations, because we are seeing the future fields is in strengthening the producer organizations. Now, as we end this session, nataka kusema umoja wetu ndio nguvu yetu. Lazima tuendelee kushirikiana pamoja. We have to continue to mobilize even members to keep joining our cooperative, our groups, our common interest groups, ndio tuweze kuwa na sauti iko juu zaidi. Si ni kweli? Now, having said that, this is named the South and Central Rift Region meeting. And the things that we have been discussing form part of our declaration and part of the message that we are sending to the world. At this point, I need someone to propose and another one to second. And declaration is not without a proposer and a second agenda. I stand to be guided. So can we have a proposer and we have gender sensitivity? Yes?
I propose that we adopt what we recommended here and move forward.
Your name and county?
My name is James from Narok County.
Are you getting that record? Proposed by James from Narok County. Seconded by?
Seconded by Sarah
Sarah Ichuma from Baringo County. Thank you. Next is, we are ending. Our time is really gone. But before we leave this place, we are going to have group photos. Na tutapigwa picha namna hii. Kama ni Nakuru County, all the delegates from Nakuru County watapigwa picha yao wa Nakuru. Wa Bomet watapigwa picha yao. Wengine ni wapi? Baringo picha yao. Alafu sasa sisi wote pamoja group photo. Secondly, after tumemaliza, chairman, our chairman, utakuwa interview kidogo. Utapeana some media recording. Chairman, alafu one woman representative, alafu one youth. You give an interview. I'm clear on that. With that, I say thank you very much for your active participation. Nasema mbarikiwe sana na sauti ya mkulima isiwahi ditimia. Sawa sawa. Sasa tunataka kuomba na tuliombewa na mama, sasa tutaombewa na mzee tukimaliza mkutano, na mwenye ataomba aombe pia kwa sababu tunakula lunch tukiondoka. Asanteni sana.
Engineer.
Yes.
As we pray, you allow me just 30 seconds.
Okay.
Just 30 seconds. Okay. Nataka tu kuchukua 30 seconds kushukuru nyinyi wote. Wengine watapata nafasi ya kuongea kama group, lakini tutaongea as individuals. I want to thank all of you. We want to say that we'll push this information to where it's supposed to go. Na mkisikia ile information itatoka at the end of the thing, I think it will be your sound. Number two, pia engineer, I think we need to thank those who have supported this activity. The farmers may not know that as KENAFF we couldn't do this alone. We reached out and SNV vile unaona wamesponsor hii mkutano ya leo, na tunataka kila mtu wajue tunawashukuru sana SNV walikubali kusponsor ya Nakuru,
na ya Eldoret ya North Rift. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru hao. Wengine wanajitolea. Kisumu jana Profesa Anyang' Nyong'o alisema atasponsor ya Kisumu. Wacha watu wengine wakiongea na Makueni na Kiambu. And we think we'll have forums like this all over the country. Ndio tukuja na voice moja kutoka mkulima wa Kenya ili tutafanya. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Nani anatuombea sasa? Ama kuna kitu kingine? Kuna kitu nani wanafanya ni issue. Simama utupe salute na utuombee.
Sasa tunapiga picha ya kutumia. Tunasema KENAFF. Mkulima. Remember that when we shall be brought up so that they can recognize us as KENAFF. So that was the honor we really feel. Thank you. Naomba. Wacheni tuombe. Mwenyezi Mungu tunakushukuru jioni ya leo kwa kuwa umekuwa pamoja nasi. Tangu tulipokaa kikao na tunaongea mengi. Tunaongea kuhusu ukulima ambao wewe ulianzisha katika shamba la elimu. Tunakuona kutufanyia mazuri katika biashara zetu, katika maisha yetu, hata mkoa umetupea katika nchi yetu. Hata tumeketi tukiwa KENAFF as farmers, tuna kitu tunatarajia kupeleka mbele ya wakubwa wetu. Tunaomba ikiwa za wabeba watu can be considered. Tukitoka hapa tukirudi nyumbani, Mungu wetu tunakuomba safari njema. Wao wametoka mbalimbali, warudishe kule usalama salama. Wao wametumia magari, warudishe kule katika maombi ya kila mtu ambaye amekuwa represented in this house. Wao wameomba privately watuizie. Tukifanya hayo yote, shukrani kwa Mungu. Tutaomba kwa matendo tukiamini tutafanyia na kuendelea katika jina la Yesu Kristo aliye mkombozi wetu. Amen. Amen.
Thank you. So, Emmanuel, so now we are taking the photos.
Okay, so for each group, we'll come and stand here, and then we'll take a photograph. So kindly you can read out for me the first group, and then
we start with Nakuru, the host. Gomez wakaribia.
One more. One, two. It will smile. Good one. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Good.
Tusianze baada tusimame hapa wengine wakimaliza tu.
Bomet group. Alafu Baringo wakuwe karibu. From Bomet tunaenda Baringo. Then Kericho, then Narok.
Okay, so this is you to forget your slogan.
KENAFF. Angalieni kamera. Ama mnataka kuangalia mic. KENAFF. Sauti ya mkulima. KENAFF.
Order hii hapo. Coordinator wa
Coordinator, yes.
A smile now.
Eh. 1,
Smile.
2, 3.
Yeah. Aya, Baringo.
One, two,
Smile.